Hey followers, howdy. It's Professor Suresh, delighted to be back again for my 16th video in process of publication on YouTube today, 18th of May 2020. Topic once again is an emerging one, disruptive technology for advancements and prosperity. A disruptive technology or disruptive innovation is an innovation that improves a product or service in ways that the market did not expect, typically by being lowered prices or designed for a different set of customers. It is a paradigm shift like, okay. Disruptive technologies have features that a few fringe and generally new customers value. Products based on disruptive technologies are typically cheaper to produce, simpler, smaller, better performing, and frequently more convenient to use. Wikipedia definition once again. Classic example, computers with the printers which replace manual typewriters and electronic word processors. Or even modern cell phone which has replaced so many other gadgets we had been using. Like the camcorder, then digital cams, MP3 player, MP4 players, iPods, all those things. But disruptive technology is different from sustainable innovation, which does not significantly affect existing markets. Here is the list of 100 disruptive technologies by Peter Fisk, compiled by Peter Fisk. It was Richard Watson in partnership with the Imperial College London. I will read out the list. Smart nappies, deep ocean wind farms, vertical agriculture, wireless energy transfer, cryptocurrency, concentrated solar power, predictive policing, micro-scale ambient energy harvesting, robotic care companions, smart control of appliances, cultured meat, organic, which is natural. Okay, delivery robots and passenger drones, distributed ledgers, precision agriculture, autonomous vehicles, intention decoding algorithms, balloon powered internet, powered exoskeletons, computerized shoes and clothing, airborne wind turbines, high altitude, avatar companions, metallic hydrogen energy storage, autonomous ships and submarines, resource gamification, water harvesting from air, that is already happening, drone freight delivery, autonomous passenger aircraft, 3D printing or additive manufacturing in all fields, medical tricorders, smart flooring and carpets, diagnostic toilets, smart energy grids, algal biofuels, human organ printing, artificial human blood substitute, mega scale desalination, self writing software, public mood monitoring machines, programmable bacteria, peer to peer energy trading and transmission, lifelong personal avatar assistants, smart dust, predictive gene based healthcare, automated knowledge discovery, autonomous robotic surgery, emotionally aware machines, humanoid sex robots, human biohacking, Internet of DNA, vacuum tube transport, hyperbole, scramjets, smart glasses and contact lenses, pollution eating buildings, broadcasting of electricity, bioplastics, swarm robotics, four-dimensional materials and printing, new nanomaterials, fusion power, low-cost space travel, colonization of another planet. Some movies have come out like this. Okay, thought-controlled machine interfaces, dream reading and recording, planetary scale spectroscopy, implantable phones, e-tagging of newborns, male pregnancy and artificial wombs, DNA data storage, genomic vaccines, quantum safe cryptography, cognitive prosthetics, data uploading to the brain, conventional machine interfaces, life expectancy algorithms, stratospheric aerosols, battlefield robots, AI advisors, artificial intelligence advisors, and decision making machines, AI board members and politicians, invisibility shields, factory photosynthesis, transhuman technologies, digital footprint eraser, personal digital shields, human head transplants, human cloning and de extinction, distributed autonomous corporations, space solar power, space elevators, fully immersive virtual reality (VR), artificial consciousness, telepathy, reactionless drive, whole earth virtualization, shape shifting matter, self configuring robots, zero point energy, like in Transformers, okay, movie. Zero point energy, beam powered propulsion, force fields, and last one, asteroid mining. Okay. Artificial intelligence (AI) is changing value chains for creative content from start to finish, which is having positive and negative impacts on society. Augmented and virtual reality (AR VR) can transform storytelling and the way the content is experienced, but business incentives to do so may not fully align with individual well-being. The creative economy and the platform economy are business incentive to do so, but not fully aligned with the individual well-being. The creative economy and platform economy are converging, redefining the relationship between creators, publishers, and technology companies and introducing difficult governance issues. Blockchain is the least advanced of all technologies. While it holds promise for the creative economy, it requires further development. It's already progressing. Multi-stakeholder collaboration is required for change to be effective. Artificial intelligence in all its dimensions, from conversational AI to robotics and machine learning, is having a major impact on how we live and work. On the Internet of Things, shortly IoT side, any analog element of our lives, a car, a road, a factory, a house, is becoming digital, allowing us to capture data and create an environment that not only senses things but also reacts to it in real time. Radical innovation poses its own unique problem, though. Its aim is to change a business which, by its very nature, is designed to fight the agents that want to change it. So, in its attempts to be disruptive, the incumbent business may very well act as its own worst enemy. To address disruption effectively, you need to decouple radical innovation from your core business. Occasionally, however, disruptive technologies emerge, innovations that result in worse product performance, at least in the short term. Disruptive technologies bring to a market a very different value proposition that had been available previously. Generally, disruptive technologies underperform established products in mainstream markets, but they have other features that a few fringe and generally new customers value. Products based on disruptive technologies are typically cheaper, simpler, smaller, and frequently more convenient to use, as I mentioned before. Small off-road motorcycles introduced in North America and Europe by Honda, Kawasaki, and Yamaha were disruptive technologies relative to the powerful over-the-road cycles made by Harley, Davidson, and BMW. Transistors were disruptive technology relative to vacuum tubes. Health maintenance organizations were disruptive technologies to conventional health insurers. In the near future, internet appliances may become disruptive technologies to suppliers of personal computer, hardware, and software. Most new technologies foster improved product performance. So, a failure framework needs to be developed, anticipating unforeseen failures and be ready with alternates as part of the contingency planning. Always hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Ultimately, this would prevent heartburns, disappointments later. The broad and accelerating availability of disruptive technologies to citizens, consumers, and businesses has been a defining feature in recent years, with the new services and markets emerging and spreading rapidly across populations and industries. Technology-driven disruption is not new. Over the last 2 centuries, technologies have emerged and combined to fundamentally change the structure of our economies and societies. The first industrial revolution began in the 1800s and was driven by widespread adoption of the steam engine. This technology established the machine as a primary means of production and significantly displaced human and animal labor. In doing so, it precipitated the mechanism of agriculture, rapid urbanization, long distance mechanical transport, mechanized transport, and the rise of mass industrial production. The second industrial revolution, which began in the late 1800s and lasted until the 1920s, involved disruptive transformation through the use of electricity. It allowed for the production and consumption of energy to be disaggregated and transmitted over distances, bringing industrial production to the world, greatly increasing production efficiency and giving rise to long distance communication. The third industrial revolution, also known as the digital revolution, began with the invention of the computer, which caused the replacement of analog, electronic, and mechanical devices with the digital technologies that are available today. This technological revolution included mobile telephony, eventually paving the way for development of the internet. The recent wave of technological innovation has the potential to be more disruptive in a shorter period of time than past technologies. The World Economic Forum calls this the most innovative wave, the fourth industrial revolution, one that is characterized by the emergence of technologies that evolve at an exponential rate rather than a linear one. The fourth industrial revolution is driven by a combination of disruptive and emerging technologies that began with the widespread access to the internet, mobile communications, and exponential increase in the processing power of computers. The data generated by billions of individuals, devices, businesses, and government agencies connected to the internet, along with the capacity of computers to process these data, are accelerating the development and adoption of technological breakthroughs in fields such as artificial intelligence, robotics, Internet of Things, autonomous vehicles, 3D printing, nanotechnology, biotechnology, material science, energy storage, and quantum computing. Current technological innovations, if adopted widely, have the potential to significantly narrow income differences between developing and industrialized countries by reducing the gap in adoption of technology. Developing countries have been characterized by both the late arrival of disruptive technologies as well as much lower intensity of their use. One of the major technological trends that are lowering the fixed costs is the shift to shared resources. Cloud computing, for instance, eliminates the need for significant capital expenditure on information technology infrastructure. Service rentals, from ride-sharing services like Uber to agricultural equipment and home solar systems, also lower costs, allowing a shift in consumer and firm behaviors from purchasing a product to requesting a service. Disruption is compounded and amplified when multiple technologies are used in tandem, parallel, and supported by digital platforms. The convergence of disruptive technologies with emerging global trends amplifies their potential for disruption. Urbanization, shifting demographics, and climate change, among other trends, are driving more rapid adoption of disruptive technologies. One factor that increases the diffusion of disruptive technologies is their ability to reduce the cost. Many of today's disruptive technologies are not capital intensive, which lowers new firms' barrier to entry. For most developed countries, the impact of frontier technologies on employment is likely to depend less on the technological feasibility than on the economic feasibility. Fears about short-term adverse effects of digitization and automation on employment may be exaggerated, particularly if labor and education policies promote complementarily between skills available in the workforce and new technologies. It's a question of reorientation, basically. Since the impact of technology depends on the structure of each country's economy, the impact at the national level cannot be assumed to be necessarily negative, but rather requires balanced analysis of the net effects of technological and market forces. Thus, the future lies in workers creating economic value with machines rather than against them. Effects on productivity are also ambiguous, as emerging technologies will by no means be universally adopted. It's not adaptation actually, it should be adapted, modified to suit the local country's requirements, whatever. Customization. Digital reality technologies including AR, artificial augmented reality, virtual reality, AR, VR, mixed reality, voice interfaces, speech recognition, ambient computing, 360 degrees video, and immersive technologies promote more natural user engagement by seamlessly extending a human-centric experience beyond the confines of keyboards and screens. The goal is natural, intuitive, and potentially imperceptible interactions with underlying technologies. Cognitive technologies such as machine learning, neural networks, robotic process automation, bots, natural language processing, neural nets, and the broader domain of AI, artificial intelligence, have the potential to transform nearly every industry. These technologies personalize and contextualize the human technology interaction, allowing businesses to provide tailored language and image based information and services with minimal or no human involvement. Financial services and financial technology companies continue to lead blockchain development, but other sectors, notably government like life sciences and healthcare and technology, media and telecommunications, are also advancing the blockchain initiatives. There is a saying, change is the only constant in real life, so do not resist the changes just for namesake. Smart people will make optimal use of technology available, either sustainable or disruptive, and certainly they are bound to reap the benefits. As a country, we need to attain the number one position in the world, and disruptive technologies will be the prime enablers. We'll meet again real soon. Rest in peace and harmony. Always watch these videos with a closed caption, subtitles for enhanced comprehension. I know once again that I rushed through to complete the presentation within 20 minutes max. Bye.